Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Vintage Story. So this is take 2. I had already uploaded an episode 1, but the audio upon uploading just turned out to be so bad in my opinion. I decided, hey, let's do this again. So I made a few changes. I've adjusted the gain on my mic, I've adjusted the game volume a little bit, and I have a keyboard that is not so clicky-clacky. You may hear the mouse, but not the keyboard. So we're going to start a new world here, and I am going to call it YouTube. I know, very surprising. And we are going to adjust a few settings. Let's see here. We are going to adjust the Pro Pick, change this to most cubic blocks. I would like you to be infinite, and turn class exclusives off. And tree time goes to normal. Most definitely tree time goes to normal. And I believe that's going to be it. So we'll apply and create, and here we go. So Vintage Story, if you're unfamiliar, it is a voxel-based block game, like Minecraft. And that's really where the similarities end. Like, yeah, maybe there's some crafting, and certainly there's some mining, but where Minecraft puts its focus on creativity, and truly just creativity, Vintage Story places its emphasis on brutalist survival, pretty much. And that creates a very different experience. Just going to get our guy all situated here, and we are going to play as commoner, as that is my preference. Let's take a look at the map, see what we've got around us. We've got a trader up this way. I will mark it just so we are aware that he is here. But I would much rather, well, it's a gamble. Do we go down this way? It looks a little hilly, or do we go this way? It looks flatter, so we'll go this way. This whole area is not ideal. This peridotite, whatever it's called. And it's not ideal just because there's, well, not a whole lot of anything. Although I suppose we can nap away our first knife. Let's do that. If I can find a stick, that is. Yeah, so Vintage Story focuses more on, again, the brutalist survivalism. However, I do think that Vintage Story also manages to succeed in enabling better creativity, in the sense that Vintage Story allows you to chisel. And there's a chiseling mod for Minecraft, of course, but the chiseling mod is not anything, I don't believe it's executed as well as Vintage Story's built-in chiseling system. Vintage Story also has an I was going to say unnecessary, but entirely necessary and very welcome. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, nice, I've got chert. I like building with chert. And this is the peridotite. So if we find any ruins, that will give us some nice green cobblestone to work with. Our temporal stability is going correct. We must have passed an unstable area. Oh, nice. We've got some green here. We'll mark this flax. I know I was in the middle of saying something, but I totally lost my train of thought. The gist of it is that Vintage Story very much stands on its own 2 feet. It's incredibly differentiated from Minecraft, which it is based and inspired on. However, it very much stands on its own 2 feet. And we have some puffballs as well. We'll just mark all these, although I do think we'll likely settle right in this area, this nice little flat area. There's good access to some trees, good shrubbery. It looks like we have granite up there, so that'll be interesting. Okay, 13 days to the first temporal storm. That makes sense. I thought it typically would say like 10 days, and then I wouldn't get it for 13 days and get confused. Oh, we have oak right over there as well. I like oak trees a lot. I think it is my favorite. I haven't played around with the larch too much, but I do really enjoy the oak. So we're getting some rain, which is too bad. So our priorities for this first day, and really this first episode, I am trying to keep these episodes around, 40, 45 minutes long, but maybe even closer to the 30-minute mark, depending on what's going on. I think this first episode, I'm looking to have it be day one, because in day one, we're not going to be doing a lot of things that require skipping around or time-lapsing and cutting in shots, because it is the first day, so we do want to pay attention to just about everything that's going on. Oh, really, you are Flint. But as time goes on, I'm sure we'll hit multiple days within an episode. As of right now, though, I think our early pace is going to be about a day an episode, just because there's so much that we're going to be doing. As a general rule of thumb, I like to try to sleep as little as possible, try to be productive where I can. But, you know, that's not always possible. Sometimes I do find myself lacking for things of high importance to do, but that's definitely a sometimes thing, especially once we're able to chisel and do some things like that. Anyway, so just marking off some veggies here, and we're going to go back to getting our inventory up and running. So you can see in the bottom right, I have hand basket slots. Ooh, we're temporally unstable right here. This area, I'm going to be entirely honest, kind of stinks. There is this area down here that I think we should check out, although for the sake of thoroughness, we will likely, not thoroughness, but convenience, we'll probably spend our first night in this area camping around, because this is where we're collecting all our things. We'll at least collect the resources for shelter while we're here, and then we might make a run for it. But the exploration of that next area is probably going to end up being a next episode thing, because we do need to get some of our necessary resources off the ground. And we are doing quite well, making out like bandits with these cattails. We need 64 exactly, so a full stack, but I've already used up 10, so we need 54 now. And we can almost finish making our baskets. I do want to make a chest as well. I am playing with some light mods, and you can see one of them in the top right. It is the HUD Clock. It displays the temperature, it displays rift activity, and it also displays the time. This information is all available right here in the character menu when you press C. However, I think that this just very quality of life change of displaying it right in the top left is just mighty convenient, so that's why I have that installed. I do have a few other mods. I will touch on them as they come up, but you can also find a mod list in the description. They're mostly all quality of life. I believe the only one that impacts balance would be the Better Firepit mod, which I heard somebody say that they believe it's just a bug, the way that fire pits work currently. So if I'm cooking up a stack of something, let's say, what happens is when that first item finishes, all the other items in the stack go back down to 0 for temperature and have to come back up to temperature, which just leads to a lot of fuel consumption, and because you're consuming so much more fuel, it leads to a lot of having to watch your fires. So I have come to enjoy using this mod since I've become aware of its existence. It makes things just a bit easier when it comes to fuel consumption. Not that fuel is something you need to truly worry about all the time, but you can burn through it pretty quickly if you're not paying any attention. So just a little peace of mind. but I think that's the only mod that should be affecting balance. Everything else is a level of quality of life. So we have all this stuff squared away. The only other things I'm looking for is I would like to get some dirt. I'm thinking half a stack to a stack, just so I can build a small shelter if needed. I think a dirt hut is what I'm going to go for our first house, and throw some thatch on it and so on, but we're going to need a dirt hut to at least stay in for our first night. We are also going to need some grass. I think it comes out to 32 or something like that. And we're going to need some wood for firewood. Let's think about how much grass we need. I need 3 hay bales, which is 8 apiece, so that is 24. I need 1 for starting the fire and 1 for the fire starter, and so that is 26. And then 2 torches is 30. 32 if I want 3 torches, but I don't particularly care about getting 3 torches. 2 is fine. Alright, so I just need 2 more sticks. No, I need 4 more sticks. Just break this maple tree. And you can see the wind here is going crazy. So Vintage Story, if you're not aware, has a fully simulated weather system, and that includes wind patterns, weather changes based on vegetation, and they're integrated hand in hand, so the biomes and the actual development of the world depends on weather patterns in that region, temperature patterns, whether or not there's good tree cover. If there's not good tree cover, you know, you're more likely to get a desert or something like that. Yeah, you can see this area is temporally unstable. So that gear on the in the middle of our HUD is our temporal stability, which effectively just represents our sanity. And some areas of the world are temporally unstable. There's been this great cataclysm. We're in a post-apocalyptic environment. So there are some areas of the world that are temporally unstable due to that apocalypse. And we can't live or settle in those areas, otherwise we will go insane. So unfortunately, it looks like the edge of this area is just a smidge temporally unstable, which means it is unideal for living here, as our coastal forest area will slowly drive us insane if we spend time around it. There's a few things that will drop your temporal stability. As you go down, I don't want this extra. As you go down deeper and deeper into the earth, that will drop your temporal instability. I do want to get this grain over here since I don't want to come back. Oh look, onions that I missed. So as we go deeper and deeper down, that will affect our temporal instability. There are temporal storms, which is basically when space-time kind of rips apart and a bunch of monsters come out. So that's something that certainly affects our stability, albeit slower than you might think. And then also, raccoons. Nope, just some healing stuff for healing poultices, although I do want to get these berries. There are also rifts, which we're not going to see any right now because rift activity is calm, thankfully. But rifts are little rifts in space and time, and when it's dark out, the monsters, drifters, can come out of those rifts. So that is something to... I'm not going to grab these puffballs right now, actually. I thought about it, but I don't particularly need... The puffballs are something I'm not going to eat or save. They're something that's going to take time to harvest, which I don't want to spend. And they are something that... what's the word for it? Yeah, I'm just not going to get it. They take time to harvest, and we can come back if we really need it. Alright, let's get this all in the inventory. You can see our inventory is filling up a little bit, and I do think I am going to make my way down this area. We still have a few hours in the day, and I have a shovel, so I can dig up that dirt and put together a little hidey hole at that time. So I think for this first episode, we started at around 8 a.m. on the current day. That's when the game starts us at. And I think I'm planning on playing till around 8 a.m. the next day. So we'll be a couple hours into the day. and likely be working in the middle of something, but we'll call it there. That should put us at, what is it? Are they 48-minute days? Is that what it is? I'm pretty sure it's 48-minute days. But we will see, because there may not be much to do on the first night if I don't find clay. So we may be put into a position. Oh yeah, look at this here. Ooh, a ruin. Wow, we could live in this ruin. We have woods here. It could be a little dangerous running through these woods. But I don't really want to circle all the way around. So let's not stop moving and just book it. We will make our way through. So in the woods, there is risk of wolves and there is risk of bears. I'm going to be entirely honest. Okay, it looks like we made it out scot-free. I'm going to be entirely honest. I do not find the wolves scary anymore. I have killed enough wolves. I've grown past that. However, bears are the banes of my existence. And I have absolutely zero, and I mean zero, love, passion for bears. They can outrun you. They can run higher than you, and they can do it all faster and better than you. So that just creates this true awful experience to try to navigate through and against. Ooh, bauxite right here too. And some, I'm really liking this world so far. And we have clay, a trader. Wow. Okay. So we are off to a great start here. We have basically everything we would need, want, ask for. And we're getting plenty of seeds. Not food seeds. I'd really like to grow some turnips, but I guess we can't get everything. Let me grab these berries here. We're probably going to live off berries for our first few days, but we will have to hunt at some point. I'm not seeing a whole lot in terms of what I can actually hunt with. Alright, so this is the ruin I thought we were working with. This will be fine. It's going to be a bit of a pain to... Ooh, food vessel. Okay, just some grain. Parsnips, that gives us something at least. And I believe we have turnips. You can see it on the map. I'll just grab these turnips here as well. Quite a few of them. Oh, great. So that'll give us some food as well. So what I'm going to do is probably focus on getting this ruin all requisitioned for us. In order to do that, you can see it drops down quite low. Let us get our chest right over here. I'm just going to drop all these food items. There we go. Fill it nearly right up. Well, I guess I'll keep the turnips themselves on me. Okay. And now let's take the shovel, and I just want to dig this out a bit. And I want to be taking the soil that we're getting and using it in order to basically cordon this place off a little bit. So I think this is going to make a great home for us, and these are the homes I like making. I don't like starting out with some random arbitrary dirt shack, although that was entirely... Whoa. Peat? So there's a peat deposit right here. Oh yeah, I see it. Wow, we've got peat right here. Yeah, I don't like that arbitrary, just starting off with a random dirt hut. But it's one of those things where sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And luckily for us, this is not looking like it will end up being one of those times. We are going to want to clear this over here. And we'll want to roof this in. And what is this, sandstone? Yeah. We'll want to roof this in at some point, but it's not a priority for us. We can take some dirt, we can take some sandstone, and we can turn this into, or, you know what, we could tear this down and turn this into a great little home. But that is not a project for today. Our project for today is just getting this so it's at least somewhat safe and passable. Okay, break the slab. Just do a quick pass on the outside. Make sure that everything is at least 2 blocks tall, so that nothing can get through. Well, over here certainly is a bit of a problem. So let's take care of that. Grab this little utility. It's not ideal. We've got a couple gaps, but nothing we should be able to handle. I don't think anything is smart enough to get over this, so this little area should be good. Now the only things I'm worried about now is, let me just put this here, over this bony soil. We'll do fire torch and dig up this bony soil so that we have it, partly, but also because it is in the way. Dig you up as well. Now I need 5 pieces of dirt. I think I can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Now where everything is calm, we can still do things at night, which is great, because I am in need of more cattails, so I'd like to go looking for cattails. Maybe go check out this trader, figure out what these black things are on the map, these black dots. I'm actually noticing a huge lack of cattails in our area. There were plenty of cattails over here, but I'm not really seeing them on the map. I see them down here, but where there's these woods and we have to scrape around. I also, just for our first night, before I forget about it, because I will forget about it, first let's grab some more peat, that way I don't have to worry about, well, I have to use firewood anyway, but... And we're just going to grab some of this, what looks to be fire clay. I'm going to grab a stack and a half if possible, and we can do some clay forming. So let us slowly chip away at this. I have a world I'm playing on my own. You may have seen my world screen. It's the world ? The world, and the world 2. That is just how I like to name my worlds, and I do it in the other block game as well. The world 2 is about 12-13 hours in, and it is at a point where I have recently, relatively recently, just reached copper. And by just reaching copper, I'm now doing some chiseling, and I'm building a house, but I'm building it out of fire clay. So I have to dig up a ton of fire clay for that, and I'm finding that the copper shovel is the single greatest thing known to man. Ooh, I need 3 more sticks, and I need them pronto. Let's do that before it gets too dark. If we're lucky, there's a 3rd stick in here. Nope. Maybe. There's certainly one in there. We need 5 altogether. There we go. Perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a makeshift door with our axe. I don't know what it's actually called. Crude door. So we'll build a crude door with our axe, so that that entrance is safe and secure to an extent. We are going to prepare and craft up some torches. I will also craft up the bed. I need 2 more sticks again. Whoops. I knew I was forgetting something, but it is unfortunately the sticks. I think I just heard a wolf. I can't hear the game audio as good as you can, just the way I have things set up. So I'll have to tweak with that and work on fixing it on my end. But I believe that was just a wolf I heard. Here. I'm also going to need firewood, which is why I have this last piece of wood. And I'll go poke, 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 poke. And let's get the torches in there. And we will make a fire. Well, if we're lucky, we'll make a fire. It's going to think about it for a little bit. Okay, perfect. So we have place our bed down while I'm thinking about it. Here is fine. This area is a little bit of a mess, so they call it a ruin for a reason. But you'll see the mod I was talking about, the better fire pit, come into effect here. So once this hits 300C, it'll turn into a lit torch, and you can see the other one immediately smelts instead of starting at 0, which I think is a very nice quality of life feature. I will get one of these torches down over here, the other one in my hand. It's still calm rift activity, and we could go outside and continue looking around. However, ooh, okay, there's cattails over here. I knew there had to be some, but this area looks a little wooded, and it's not ideal. I just want cattails because we want another reed chest, but the point may be moot because I am thinking of looking at some clay firing here, and we're going to do a raw cooking pot. Let's look at that. And with the clay firing, we can build storage. And so I may look at building some of our clay storage instead of relying on reed chests. But we're going to start by building a cooking pot. Ruh-roh. Okay, so I've got my cooking pot all done. Now I'm just going to quickly throw together some bowls, and I am going to be doing 3 bowls. It's a bit of a random number, but the reasoning behind it is that there are 4 slots where you can put something in a pit kiln to fire our clay, and and 4 bowls would give us 5 if we include the cooking pot plus the bowls. And so because of that, I like to do 3 bowls. That way it's a less pit kilns. And basically the same thing, because we don't need all these bowls, at least right off the bat. We really only need the 1, but long term we'll want them for oil lamps, or oil... I don't know if it's called an oil lamp proper. Let's go find out. Oil lamp, yep. So we'll want some for oil lamps. And oil lamps, if you're unfamiliar, are a more permanent fire source. A torch burns out after about 2 days, and while we can reset its burnout timer, it is still something we want to keep in mind. Let's see what else we would want on our first day. I mean, that's the big one. Some crocks and some storage vessels, I guess, would be my other wish list. So let's at least start a storage vessel. I don't know if we'll get through 2 of them, but we can at least do a storage vessel. These things take a lot of clay. I think they take 40-something clay to make, and they're quite large, but they are so worth it. They're great for food preservation, but right now they're going to just serve as our general storage. Speaking of food, we are hungry. If I had more flint, which I have a little bit, I was going to say it might be worth looking at doing some hunting tomorrow, especially if we're going to have this food pot underway here fairly soon. Alright. Go back into here, and we will get pot going. Once we get this first layer down, we have maybe 10 layers of just this over again. So this is the bad part, because now I can just hit duplicate layer and let the duplicating commence. Yeah, we definitely have wolves. I'm not quite sure where I'm hearing the wolf from right now, but I know I'm hearing him. I would assume it's these woods that are nearish to the south of us, and that's why I don't want to pass through them. So we'll have to keep our eye out for the wolves, and once we have a few spears, we will work on taking him down. But that is a few days down the road at the very least. If we had bears, I'd be a lot more scared and nervous, but if it's just a wolf, it's not the end of the world. We can cheese it. You know, some people like to fight things, I don't want to say the intended way, because I'm not entirely sure what the intended way is, but without pillaring up. And I am not one of those people. Especially early in the game when you're very likely to die, I'd much rather pillar up and call it a day. Okay, so there's a storage vessel. I want to get these crocs as well. I don't need crocs for a little while, but I can do one more storage vessel. And so I think that is what I will do. Oh, why didn't I think of doing this? Or maybe I have before. The 3 tool is by far the easiest in order to do some clay forming with. And I'm going to delete all you. So you'll notice that when I'm forming the clay, my head is not moving. And that is because I'm holding down the left, I guess, yeah, left alt. Left alt, what about right alt? No, not right alt. Left alt will prevent you from moving your head. And so I find that a lot easier when it comes to clay forming, when it comes to smithing, and when it comes to napping, any of those activities. Left alt is your best friend. So it's going to be quite a task for us tomorrow to get our 3 pit kilns going. We're going to need 30 grass to do that. We are going to need, well, this peat. We'll need 8, 16, 20 pieces of peat, and I will need 24 sticks. The grass and the peat I'm not worried about at all. It is these sticks that I think are going to be the time-consuming piece for us. And down we go. Now it's just 2 of the 3 layer, or the 3x3. And I'll duplicate. Alright, so we've got 2 storage vessels, which is great. I don't know if this is enough for us to get crocs off the ground. I think I need 20 something for crocs, so we'll pass on that. But I mean, that is everything I wanted to do tonight in game. So I think that is going to put us to bed for now, since we are left without things to do. Actually, no, I changed my mind. We can go outside because it is calm and take a look. Nope, I changed my mind. With that wolf running around and me not knowing where it is yet, I think sleeping was the better call. We're just going to sleep till 5 a.m. is my goal. So let's see, 2:10. Oh, no, I missed it. Rift activity very high, so we'll probably see a rift here. Yeah, see, there's got to be a wolf. Is that it? That is it. Okay. So let me mark that so that I'm aware. Wolf. It is a black wolf. So we know that where the wolf is, which is good. We know where a super deep scary cave is, which is good. Looks like we've got andesite under here, which is interesting. We have a ruin, which is a bit on the spicy side. That's interesting to see. And what's that? What else do we have? What's this black over here? Is this peat? Exposed peat? I had a dream that it was terra preta, but perhaps my dreams have been foiled over here. Well, that's more berries, which is great, and we have temporal instability. Unstable area again. Wow, we are getting absolutely no luck with temporal stability. I do think we will still settle down where we are, as that area is at least stable. But long term, this whole area is kind of bad. Start-wise, it's okay, but... And you are a survival goods trader. Interesting. Haven't seen you around before. Did you just wake up? I think so. Well, good morning. Name Sprig. Roam around these parts. Trading. What are you trading, Sprig? You can buy... I can buy... He'll actually buy some things that I can work with. Long term. I can buy a whole lot of linen sacks. 2 gears each. Yeah, I'll buy all of those. And tin bronze pickaxe. Wouldn't that be nice? Alright. Well, we're in need of a few things. Mainly reeds and cattails, which we're going to have to go down this way. Well, no. We're going to work on getting our pit kiln set up. How could I forget? However, that is something that we are going to save for next time as we enter this temporally unstable area. We've done a good amount today. We do have a basic shelter, an idea of where we're going to be settling down, for the moment at least. And while we're barely hanging on, we do have food, so we are doing okay on that front. Next episode, we're going to continue this day, work on getting our pit kilns up, and once we have our pit kilns up, I will probably go out and collect more cattails. So, I'm going to settle down, hit F5 a couple times so that I can face all of you, and I am going to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It certainly came out a bit better than take 1 of episode 1, so hopefully you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.